Hi, I'm Julie Geller, and welcome to this edition of Spotlight On. This week, we've got an incredible guest artist with us. We've got Rachael Rosenbaum with us, all the way from Efrat, Israel. What I'm going to do today is I want to play a little snippet of one of her songs. Rachael, can you tell us the name of this song?
This song is called Lullaby for Restless Children.
I'm going to play a snippet of the song. I love it, and it's the first song of Rachael's that I ever heard. And then we're going to dive into a conversation about her process as a singer-songwriter. Rachael, sound good? Thumbs up?
Sounds awesome.
Okay, so I'm going to play this snippet here.
Have you ever wished to be found by a warm, low-laughing voice, with sand covering your feet where stones are smooth until their colors deep forever? And the smell keeps the whole of you at the seaside. Once I dreamed I would be like that for you, but the best I've done is recall the dream.
So that is just a snippet of Lullaby for Restless Children. You can hear the full track, many places that will tell you at the end. And for now, I want to say, Rachael, why I wanted to invite you to be our guest artist and why I personally have always been drawn to your music. And I was thinking about it this morning. What is it? And here's what I think it is. I always talk about how creativity is having the courage to take what's inside and express it outside. And for so many of us, there are so many filters that we have to go through and so many sort of stopping points to having that happen. And when I listen to your music, I hear really a pure expression of what's inside of you, like a pure, unfiltered expression of who you are. And it's just like, here's kind of my own form, my own style, my own full self coming out through the music. So that's what I hear. Is there anything you want to comment on about that?
I'm very honored that that's what you hear. I certainly think that's a great thing to aspire to, and I hope I do sort of fulfill that. It's very important to me to be real and true with music. I'd probably be more commercially successful if I would change things to suit, the popular styles or whatever it is. But I just to me, if I do that, it's not even worth making the music.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm making it, it has to be the real thing and whatever is real to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way that's worthwhile. So
yeah, and as I was re-listening to the song and your first album this morning, tell us what the name of your first album is.
So it's called Stepping Toward Redemption.
Stepping Toward Redemption. As I was listening to it again this morning, this memory popped into my head, and it's that I started writing songs on my own when I was in about the 10th grade, and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have any guidance. And then when I got to college, I tried to put a band together, and I remember I played this song I had written, and one of the guys in the band is like, "You can't do this. This has too many measures." I forgot. It's like the chorus. You can't have a chorus with 5 measures instead of 4. And I was like, "Oh my God, I can't." And I changed the song and I evened it out to make it match what a song is. And I didn't yet have the confidence that I see in you to just be like, this is it. So there's 3 measures here and 5 here, and this is the song in my heart. I was like, I have to do what everybody's doing. When I listen to your songs, it's very much this sort of stream of consciousness, ethereal movement that doesn't feel bound by those rules.
Yeah, that's actually kind of gotten me into trouble in the studio. but I'm still, going ahead with it. The guys in the studio wanted me to try to work with a click track, and I tried to please them, accommodate them, and it just didn't work. And at some point I'm like, listen guys, this is what I do. If that's cool with you, we're gonna go ahead with it. If not, I'll find somewhere else. No hard feelings. I understand. And they're like, no, stay here. So I'm doing it now with them, and we're managing it, and we're navigating it.
Wow.
And it's just one example, but yeah.
So it's you're you're the locus of it. You're the one in control. It's like, I'm going to do this and you all fit in around me instead of me fitting in around some rules or how you want to do it. That's what I'm hearing.
In a certain sense, yes. I think that there is like a balance. Like I don't want to be, I don't want to like not value what other people have to say or contribute. They have something to say and that's fine. But like if I find that it just compromises what I do and how I feel comfortable making music too much, then I'm not going to change it because of that. They're going to have to, yes, they're going to have to fit in with my vision because at the end of the day, this is about recording my album. So
Yeah. I feel your strengths so strongly and your vision for it and your I mean this in such a positive way, like your unwillingness to compromise with your vision and wanting to bring people in and not at the expense of your vision, but in a way that will expand your vision.
yeah. Oh, I definitely want people to relate to my music. I know that not everybody can or does, and that's fine. But I found that people often do. Like when I perform, people talk to me at the end and they say, wow, like that really got to me in a very deep way. And I'm like, cool, I don't have to have a click track or whatever else it is in order to get to
Yeah.
people. And that's a really good feeling when I know that it really did reach someone and just the way it is good enough.
Yeah. I think the thing that gets to us is when something is real, when something is just unadulterated and real, like not putting on airs, not filled with ego, not trying to impress, just like, here's my soul and I'm going to sing it to you. And as soon as I heard your music, I felt that. I was like, wow, I feel like I'm being sung to. I feel like I'm being soothed. I feel soothed. And I felt that instant connection.
That's wonderful.
So I have a couple questions for you if you're willing to dive into them a bit. One is I'm curious if you want to talk at all about spirituality in your music.
We can try. I'll admit that right now I'm going through some stuff with spirituality, some tumultuous inner stuff, but I'm open. I'm open to talking.
Is that tumultuousness showing up in new songs that you're writing?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure yet. Maybe a bit. The album that I'm working on now are a lot of the songs are songs that I've written, 2 or 3 or even 4 years ago. Let's say, like it's taken a while to get to this album. My Stepping Toward Redemption album came out in 2018. So it's kind of weird how long it's taken, but I'm sort of in a different place now than I was when I wrote those songs. And I've written, some new songs that are not going to be on this album. They'll be on the next one. And yeah, it's a bit different. Only a few though. We'll see how it progresses. I don't know. Like a lot of it's just been about stuff with my kids and the things that they go through, and we'll see. I wouldn't shy away from it. If that was what I felt that I wanted to write about, I would do it.
So are there songs are there themes you have in terms of spirituality or other themes that you're recording now, songs you wrote 2, 3, 4 years ago that you have a different connection with now than you did when you first wrote them because you've grown and changed?
I'm trying to figure out the connection, to be honest. It's at first it was a bit unsettling to realize that I don't feel like the same person I was when I wrote those songs now. But I'm like, you know what? I wrote them. I like them. I want to share them. And whoever meets them and finds something in them that they can hold on to, great. Like I don't have to be the same person. It's not really about me. At this point, it's about whoever's going to get it and to take it in.
Yeah.
That's okay. The connection I'm when I sing them, when I try, on the occasions that I get to perform them, it's different. I'm still trying to figure out how to inhabit them more fully, even though I feel different now.
And I love that. It's complicated. And I love the language you use, whoever meets them, like trusting, like, here's the song going out into the ether. And like, someone's going to meet it just when she or he needs it. Like, and this song's going to help them on their journey.
I sure hope so.
I have another question for you only because I know this is part of personal conversations we've had in the past a little bit, which is, how does place, how is that a part of your songwriting? Because I know you moved to Israel remind me where you were in.
Airmont, New York.
Or New York. And if I remember correctly, you moved to the north of Israel and then you moved to a very small settlement. And now you're living in a different, larger settlement. Like, has that been a part of your music? And if so, how?
Actually, it's been a huge part of my songs over the last 7 years. Totally. Like if you pay attention to the words, you'll see it very clearly. This next album is probably going to be titled Layers of Home.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the songs were written out of this sort of desire to find what home really is, and how it feels, and where it is. And yeah, like the moving has informed a lot of the songs, a lot of the just a lot of the content. That's a major theme actually of the upcoming album. I don't know if you want me to elaborate on that, or
I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear if you're closer now to finding home than you were 7 years ago.
oh boy, I don't know. It's not so simple actually. It's a lot more complicated than I anticipated originally. A lot of the stuff I write about is also it's about my experiences with trying to find home, and feeling like, wait, I didn't quite get it there, and where, where is it? But also with my kids, these moves have had an impact on them, very much of an impact, and particularly my oldest son. It's been really hard for him. The last move in particular was very hard for him, and that has had, just ramifications that have caused interpersonal issues, and I've written about that. I think some people take these things harder than others. And for some people, it hits them harder. Like, so for some people, moving, I think, would be an adventure. And for other people, I think it's very unsettling, very jarring. Yeah, I've been finding it pretty jarring, to be honest. And I think that's definitely impacting the stuff that I write about, sure. And I think that a lot of people, I think that the concept of home is incredibly universal. Like, humans want to feel like they belong and to find their place. So I'm hoping that people will relate, and I hope find comfort, or at least know that they're not alone in that search.
I'm wondering whether I really see you as like a Rebbe for us, as like a mentor, teacher, guide,
Oh
in
gosh.
terms of in terms of someone who tells the truth and sticks with it. Like you said, like, I'm not playing with the click track. Like, that's not the beating of my heart. That's not who I am. And I respect your musicianship. And if you can't be a part of somebody who's not with a click track, then this isn't a good match. So I respect your commitment to telling the truth, to singing the truth, to sticking with your truth. And I'm curious whether you have words of advice for other artists, musicians, who are trying to find that strength in their own lives, in however they want that to manifest.
Oh boy. It's funny. I write these songs, and I always have this consciousness of whatever I'm writing now, at the end of the day, I want the conclusion of the song to be something that is useful, something that is going to touch people, is going to be productive. To just write a song about my own despair or hopelessness is not a contribution in my mind. So it would really have to have some kind of something that you can hold on to and be inspired by, I hope. At the same time, I don't really feel like so much of a teacher. I feel like I don't feel like I really have answers, but I could try to think, of I'm sorry, can you just like repeat like the question again, so I could sort of focus more on like.
Sure. Well, I want to clarify. I don't think you're a teacher because you have answers. I think you're a teacher because you model singing what's in your heart without friction, and then continuing to, and with all the moves, and during COVID, it's like you're still sticking with this. I don't know if you want to say it's a calling, or whatever this music thing isn't going away for you. And I relate to it because I've had the bug since I was 16, and it's like through hard times and easy times and moves and kids, it's like we're still doing it. And because of that, we're teachers, because there are a lot of people who have this dream, who have this fire, and are not able to sustain it. And of course, there's times we write more and times we write less. But What is it about you that enables you to keep telling the truth and keep showing up and trying?
Wow. Okay. So that helps. I hope that whatever it is something that I could pass on to others, because sometimes I'm just so surprised. Like I've had a couple times at the end of a gig, a woman would come up to me and say, it's really great that you're pursuing this thing that you love. And I'm just like, but how could I not? How could I not? I wouldn't be able to survive life without that. Like, this is what gives me vitality. This is what makes me feel like it's worth getting up in the morning. And it's really hard. I find that there's so many boundaries in the way, and I struggle with those tremendously. I'm not famous by any stretch of the imagination. I honestly really struggle to just get people to know about my music and to be able to have opportunities to share it live, which I think is a powerful thing. That's a huge struggle for me. So I don't know, like, if I've accomplished like enough to really like say that, the only thing that I guess I've accomplished is this tenacity and sticking with it, no matter how much success I may or may not have seen. Why? I mean, it's just, I see what I'm like when I don't do it. And it's just like a downward spiral. Like in the summertime is when all my kids are home and they're not in camp. It's not a good scene. I'm a mess. I don't think people should live their life like that. I think people should have some kind of basic fire that like gives them passion, to keep going. It's life is hard. Life is full of challenges. And if you have something that you love and you work hard for that, like that can get you through, I think, almost anything, or maybe anything. So I think it's worth holding on to. If creativity makes you feel alive, you can't not let yourself have that. You owe it to yourself. And hopefully, even if you only touch a few people, like you really did something very big. That's the truth. And I have to remind myself of that.
And how many of us go through life never touching any person because we're too afraid to pursue this passion that you're talking about? So whereas you might think of, I'm not a success because I only was able to move 5 people or 10 people or 20 people, whatever that number is. You're like, I wish I could move this number. I would submit that many people go through life not having big impacts, not because they're not impactful people, but because they're not finding that courage to really bring their truth forward, to have that impact.
It always makes me very happy when I hear women say, you know what, like I haven't done, for 20 years, I've been raising my children and I haven't given myself time, and now I'm doing it. And I had one woman say, now I'm opening an art studio, and just like, well, that's great, better late than never kind of thing. But maybe it doesn't have to be so late, if we like, I hope that if people are listening to this and they're like on the fence about, how much energy they can give to their passion, that's for them to decide how much, but like, don't ignore it and don't put it in the closet, and see how you feel when you do it, and see what a difference it makes.
Yeah, I like to say that being bitter and resentful does not help your family. Yeah. Being happy, being fulfilled, that helps your family. Working on your own healing. These are the ways that we can best serve our partners, our kids, our extended families in the world. So I want to thank you for having the tenacity to continue to do that, even when you don't feel quote unquote successful, even if you don't feel like you always have the impact you envision for yourself, or that you yet have that, to keep having that tenacity. And Rachael, I want to ask you, when can we expect your next album, and where can we listen to your music?
Okay, yeah, good questions. The second one is a little bit easier to answer. I have one album up on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, and Bandcamp, called Stepping Toward Redemption, Rachael Rosenbaum. The spelling of my name is Rachael. And I'm hoping my next album, which I think is going to be called Layers of Home. It's going to be a few months. I'm not sure exactly how long. I'm scared to sort of give an exact date, unfortunately, at this point, because things have just been really like slow going. I'm actually trying to maybe put together a little bit of a home studio now, so that might speed things up a bit. So we'll see. I would love for it to be out by September, but I don't know. We'll see.
Amazing. And I hope you'll put an announcement up in the tent here when when it's
Yeah.
out so we can all go get it, listen to it, see you live, whatever you're doing then. We want to be part of it.
That'd be great.
Rachael, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. Folks, this has been Rachael Rosenbaum, wonderful musician, songwriter, person, human being. Go listen to her music, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Julie. It's been great.
Thank you.